Joe, you'll just have to tell us if it's actually the truth.
I like to use fortune pool.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's the truth.
Even if you say it's the truth, I'd still like to use that fortune pool. There we go, crit.
And well, because now you know it's the truth and you're certain of it. He really is the man, Ruth O'Ford.
He's just a very uncreative with his lies.
Those are usually the best lies.
What's your name? It's Keg. Keg O Beer. Okay. Very well. Despite what went on between the two of us when last I left, I have been granted authority here in Bogenhofen, and with that authority, I have seen as such been granted the power to grant somebody here the title of estate. And with that estate, I think you find, comes a certain noble title. And as such, I would see to bequeath such a thing to somebody already claiming a title, who I might count as an ally in these coming times. As I've said, I can make your lie a reality.
Yes, but what do I have to do for you?
As I've said, I require an ally. And an ally in name is a powerful ally indeed.
You clearly want me to put my weight behind something. Now, what is this thing?
Unfortunately, Rutherford, you are a human, and I am not. The weight I would give you would be doubly so if your word as one of them was to agree with mine. These are perilous times, Rutherford. The last thing I need is dissension among the ranks due to a frivolous thing such as racism, speciesism.
Spoken just
I
like a
accept.
Tokyo.
I accept.
Very well. In the coming days, I have sent for a notary from Skarnsburg. They will arrive here soon. In anticipation of your agreement, I saw fit that no sane man would look away from a gift such as this. They will arrive with your new title of estate, as well as your given name, Rutherford, not Rutherford. All you must merely do is live the lie that you have been living thus far.
If you're lying to me, you, or perhaps not you, will suffer.
You, or perhaps not you. What a vague threat that was.
As is Rutherford's speciality.
Yes. I don't know what you would threaten if not me, and you have seen how I stand in the face of danger. I do not fear you, Rutherford. All I wish for you to be is my ally, so let's perhaps not start off on such negative terms.
Now, what do you need, though?
I need peace and stability in the region. I left with such things being thrown into the air, and you yourself would not listen to me. Kicking men in the backs of the legs, that's not a man thing to do. Certainly, it is not
Someone's got to do those kinds of things.
Not you. Not with a lordship on your name. That is for peasants. You need to learn to live above your standard.
A strong lord needs to know how to fight.
Indeed, and perhaps you need to be trained in such things. I have brought with me a number of soldiers. Perhaps one of them could train you in the proper fighting style. You need to act as a lord, not as a commoner.
Very well.
In fact, I have raised many a lord, many a noble. I can instruct you in the ways of these things in the days to come, and then when your title truly arrives, you will be able to act with the grace and distinction of a man of your title.
I can already do that. However, can you read?
Of course, I can read, but given the
Teach me.
very well,
What
it
do-
is amongst the number of things a noble should be able to do.
Great job, Joe. Great job.
So, now what?
Now you return to the life as you've been living it, and I will send for you as soon as that notary has arrived so that we may put what I have said to ink. In the meantime, I have a great number of things to attend to here in town now that I have returned. You may have noticed my new distinction. I have lost my cane to the mines, but I have returned with this new gold and copper signet, identifying me as the new town elder, and I see that there are a great number of things that need to be cemented here before more people die to such infighting, and the tithe, as always, is due.
That tithe isn't going to be met.
It will be met, regardless of what people may think. The Graf is due what he is due, regardless of who the Graf may be now.
What do you mean, who's the graph now?
Ah, yes. Information does not pass downstream as quickly as it may be. Or on upstream, since I was described as walking from the south. I guess Skarensburg is south of here.
Yes, so
You think I'd know
you
that?
came upstream.
Having been gone for months, you'd think I'd know which direction I walked in. Yes, the Thorismund craftsmanship has ended.
Sorry, you cut out. I don't know what you're saying.
What did I cut out at? Because I may have cut off at a ridiculous point.
The
You
Forest
said,
Moon graphs.
yeah, and then that.
Yeah, okay, good. Then I did cut off at a ridiculous point. I don't know what you call the end of a graph.
I just call it his lordship. It's same thing. We don't speak German, so we wouldn't use that word.
The end of one lord, or one lord has ended and another has begun. Eric Thorisman is no longer amongst the living.
And who killed them?
It is unknown at this time, though his daughter has unseemly vanished, which has
I
left...
know who killed him.
Who killed him? If you have information, it would be very valuable.
It was his
Yes.
sister.
That is quite impossible, as she was attending her wedding at the time.
That doesn't mean she couldn't have had someone else go.
Were you to know the scenario in which her brother died, I think you will find it was quite unlikely.
How'd he die?
That is
Beastman?
not... Sorry, say that one more time.
Beastman?
Unlikely as well. Unfortunately, it is not a matter to be discussed among... Well, maybe in a week's time, when you are lorded yourself. It is rather unseemly, not something to be discussed.
Well, that's a shame.
Graf Eltham is who you now owe your allegiance.
Did the Graf have any... He only had a daughter, right?
Yes.
Come to think of it, that makes me the Lord of Skarnsburg, doesn't it?
Well, it would make you as the um.
Out of character, did you
The
marry
grandpa.
her?
And no, you don't have a legal marriage.
So, it doesn't mean I can't lie about it.
Also, I think, I don't know, it just seems like the marriage to a, I don't know, you're pretending to be a lord. This is a very weird, strange situation, because people would be asking questions left and right.
It will end in a giant disaster.
Well, I would assume it would lead with Rutherford's death.
Ask him who the hell Graf Elf is.
Well, okay, so I will tell you this. You know of an Eltham, Herzog Skarnsburg, he rules over Skarnsburg and the surrounding areas, has a second son, Eltham. That is about the only one you can think of, however.
Okay,
That's
so let me.
H-L-O-N?
So, what are you asking?
Eltham. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to know how the name was spelled.
Okay, I didn't know he was typing. I was about to spell it for you.
Joe, did you have anything else you wanted to ask Alexandre that? And do you actually tell him that you've married Carla? Because
So how does like the what's it called? The one of the
succession?
lore. Yeah, that. How does that work?
So oh gosh, if I had been playing more Crusader Kings recently, I would be able to tell you. So it is primogeniture male selection only. So when the Graf died, or it's male selection highly favored. So when the Graf died, Elba had already married Eltham. So when he died, and her titles, instead of going to Carla, went to Eltham because he was the closest male relative.
And what if Eltham dies?
Elba becomes Graf.
Right.
Unless she has a son.
No,
You
when
can't see the giant smile on my face right
doesn't
I think you're asking if you marry Carla, would you become the Graf? And I think the answer would be yes.
Technically, yes, but you'd have to prove it was done before Elba. Like, you basically would then be in a legal battle, right?
Hey Rasmussen, do you want to forge a document with me?
Rasmussen, get out of my room.
Let me
see,
just.
that's the thing. Rasmussen isn't there. So.
I know, I'm joking.
I know. I was thinking out loud.
But here's the thing, and what I think is you would know is you would not win this legal battle, right? You would just.
Also, pretty sure it'd be more than a
powerful.
legal battle too. It'd turn into a Game of Thrones scenario.
Yeah, but where you're like
you don't have
the
an
lord
army
of a dinky ass town,
yeah,
with 6 troops, and this is the second son of one of the most powerful herzogs in the empire. So, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to have more than lies. You'd have to have more than lies on your side. What power I can extend to you is not enough to fight the Game of Thrones war.
So
Legitimizing you is the best I can do.
So now just.
But did you actually tell Alexandre about Carla? That's what I want to know.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I don't quite have anything else at the moment. If I think of anything else, I'll come banging on your door.
If you have anything else, please take it to Genevieve. She will be in charge of my personal matters for the time being as I reacquaint myself with the scenario that has taken over this village and how best to improve it.
Oh, that reminds me. How long did you know about Jeb?
How long did I know about what?
Jeb,
What about Jeb?
the monster?
He's not a monster. He's a witch.
A warlock, somebody says in the other room.
Yeah.
Because he's
A male witch is oftentimes called a warlock.
Yes. Yes.
A man witch.
I don't know.
Tasty.
He's caused some bad problems.
Was that before or after a group decided to jump him and try to kill him? Because it seems to me before that happened, he was peacefully living amongst everybody else.
Well, I mean, when we first got here, there was that witch hunter, and they wanted them to burn Matilda.
You mean the criminal posing as a witch hunter? The one that was hired by a man in Skarnsburg to impersonate a witch hunter?
Yeah,
Yes, the guy that you knew personally. By name, no less. I have been with you for some time, Rutherford. Or, I'm sorry, Ruth. I have been with you for some time, Ruth.
name's Rutherford.
Yes, but your first name is now Ruth. I will call you Rutherford in public, but it seems weird to call you by your fake name until it is legal. Regardless, he was a fake man on a fake mission. The fact that there was an actual witch in town is regardless.
And the Beastmen?
Unfortunate. The Beastmen are unfortunate. That was not known to me. You might recall that I held Brutus in some high regard until he turned out to be, I don't know, a cultist? Brutus lived a long time outside of the village. I was less well acquainted to him than I was Jeb.
Very well, then. I'll be off.
Before you leave, is there anything else that you wish to share with me?
No,
Honesty is a two-way street, my friend.
it is. And you've been honest, and I've been honest.
yeah, just like for minor lies, suffer one corruption each.
Alright, I'm back on the character whose alignment shit I'll never get unless I hit on somebody.
Oh, also, sorry. I just had a thought. I'll tell you later, Alexandre. Or I'll tell you later, Theta, about Alexandre. Rutherford, where do you go next and do / what? Or actually, let's not look at you. Let's see, Genevieve. You now find yourself with your first command.
Go.
What do you do?
I think I would give them a rundown of like situation and how she kind of like set up the layout of the town and the escape route with the men. Kind of give them an overview of the town.
Mara asks as you begin speaking. He goes, excuse me, do you want to stand at attention while you're addressing us? You know, get the lads used to some discipline around.
She looks a bit flustered, because this is like her first time. She's like, of course. And then
Yeah, he screams out like a very sharp and raspy old sergeanty. Attention! Right, and they snap to how they.
yeah, and she says, you should also know that there have been attacks recently on the town. They look like beasts and part men. They are not to be handled as if they were common bandits. They are also seem to be commanded by one person. What they want, we are not sure of, but they will kill. And she
Right, permission. Can I have permission to speak?
yes. You may speak.
Right. Are beastmen anything like orcs? Or I don't know if you see them, they're like weird creatures. They're like big, like spit all over the place.
She kind of like, because she's trying in her head to see how they would be described. She's like, they look like men with hooves, like, and horns. Yeah, that's how she kind of describes it.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, she just says that she describes them like with men with hooves and horns.
No, right. So kill men with hooves and horns.
She smiles at that, like she knows that's gonna be like a bad interpretation. She says, "Let's just say that there's no mistake. They don't look anything like normal people, and they don't look like orcs."
Right. Understood.
Oh my god, she's slowly starting to realize that her description sounds crazier and crazier, but what can she do? So she kind of turns to his name before I forget.
Mar. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sergeant Mar is how you would know him.
yeah. So she turns to Sergeant Mar and says, she's like, would it be a good idea to possibly teach some of the villagers some defense, some tactics?
Right. I mean, I could drill. I could say, I could drill a cat to shoot in a pike and fire formation, but not up to me, man.
She nods to that. She says, I could give you some able-bodied villagers help, but I mean, I understand if it's hard.
You give them to me, I'll teach them. I'll teach them to stand and fight.
She looks at him and she says, "Thank you." So she's
What? And then, like, while he cuts you off, because after you say that, right, he thinks like he's like, "What? Dismiss!" And then, like, the guys relax and like sort of like flop down in the way soldiers do as soon as they've been dismissed out of.
this is great. She just kind of like she automatically stiffens, like like his voice kind of takes her back to training.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. He
Yeah.
probably was one of the people who drilled. I think I said that he's one of the people who drilled you.
Yeah. So she nods and she's gonna go to the inn.
Yeah, I believe you see Rasmussen there, and because I guess that's his place in town to be, I guess really. And you see what's his name, Rutherford, who comes down the stairs.
Well, I wave an acknowledgement.
She kind of looks at him and she says, did you meet with Alexandre?"
He's back in town. No, I haven't
Yes.
even seen him.
Yeah, he's back in town and he managed to bring some troops. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but it's better than nothing.
Well, it
Well-
better be enough because it's my town now.
What? What do you mean your town?
It will be my town in several days when the notary comes here and I sign the papers.
Is this the whole news about the new graft that I was kind of noted about?
Yeah, Graf's dead.
Really? Do we know when that happened?
Well, recently, I guess. He wouldn't tell me how he died,
Well,
but
probably Elba made her move.
yeah.
So that means your fiancée is in mortal danger. Do you know where she is?
I have no idea.
How many people are in the inn right now while you're having this conversation?
Really, not many. We'll say it's safe enough, right? Like, it's safe enough. But realistically, most people are out working or worrying, like basically trying to scavenge what is left of the fields, because by now most of the plants are dead.
I mean, conceivably, the innkeeper might still be here.
Innkeepers are paid to not listen, sir. But
I mean,
yes, he
I
is.
feel like the innkeeper hears so much shit that he just doesn't give a shit anymore.
Horseface and I have
No,
talked
oh
about
no,
it
wait.
now.
The
Yeah.
innkeeper is up with Alexandre while they're talking, and he's obviously brought a bowl of soup and a familiar quirp, which I have to look up, or else I'll forget it.
Oh, yes, baby soup.
Baby soup.
Yeah. See, just so you know, he's hasn't been taken by a skin changer. He says, sorry I ain't got no elf food, Master Alexandre, but no one would give me their children.
Ah, there it is. I mean, now we have to keep the streak going because you broke it after 20 years for some reason.
Just a little worried. Wait, what's this guy sound like again? I forget. I was just a little worried, Master Alexandre. Just a little.
Very well. Next time you see Genevieve in here, could you send her up, assuming I haven't left?
Will do. Yeah, so I guess you guys are having your conversation uninterrupted.
I don't know who you're referring to.
He's referring to us, like the three of us.
Yes,
Okay.
the three of you. Yeah.
So you have no idea where she is, right?
Not the slightest idea.
Is there any way for you to get in contact with her at all? Do you guys have drop spots where you leave each other messages? Anything?
In Skarnsburg,
Well, if she's halfway smart, she'll be out of Skarnsburg by now.
hmm
Does she know where you are? Or where you were headed the last time you saw her?
Yes,
So it stands to reason that chances are she'll be headed here.
she most likely will.
Well, if
If
you
she
don't
doesn't
want,
get caught on the way or something.
yeah.
And who knows, the Beastmen might have even gotten her.
Well, I suppose that's possible, but I would be more worried about our friend Alexandre. If you want to keep her head on her shoulders, you let us know as soon as she gets here and we'll stash her away somewhere.
All right.
Genevieve, you're going to need to figure out where Alexandre falls on this. You're going to need to get it out of him whether he wants her alive or dead.
I will try.
Do it naturally in the course of regular conversation. I can't bring it up. He and I don't trust each other as far as we can throw it.
I don't think that's a regular conversation that we would both have, but I'll attempt.
Just, in the course of regular interactions with him. If it comes up, if you see the opportunity.
Well,
Which at that
For the
point,
love of all the gods, don't tell him I'm the one who's asking.
I
um,
probably should ask him about the new graft anyway.
Right.
I can only imagine
you
this
see,
conversation already. OMG, let's gossip.
yeah, Lucius comes down the stairs and he says, Genevieve, old Master Alexandre is looking for you. It is a
be
room
right.
filled with racist shit.
Yeah, she'll go up there.
Let's face it, my back half of my life now has been filled with racist elfin shit, so I think it's almost as long. Well, no, I am over 100 something. But still, I've spent a long time around this racist elven shit, so it's like almost home to me, despite not being real elven shit.
It's close enough, I guess. It's a thought that counts.
I mean, it's not close enough. It's not even close to being actual elven shit. It's just what this guy could pick up and thought, ha, this would be funny.
I'm gonna pick these berries. I'm gonna put them on the curtains. That's Elvin, right?
I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, but at the same time, it's clearly it's not human though either. It's like no one else is doing this, so I guess this is me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so, like he painted like a baby on like a something, right? Gave it to you, like, oh look, so you can look at it like it's food, right? Like that kind of racist shit.
He gives you a menu, has like baby filled options.
Yeah, this is why I've
but
chosen Rutherford to be an ally because he's human.
but you enter this room, Genevieve.
Yeah, she kind of like knocks and then she says, "You asked for me?"
Yeah, and I'm sitting at a desk drinking soup. Oh yes, Genevieve, please take a seat.
She sits down.
I'm sure you've. Wait a second. Narrow my eyes at you. Can you read?
Oh, say that again.
I said I narrow my eyes at you as I think for a moment. Can you read?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't think about that before I handed you the note. As you may have seen, the note instructs that you are able to recruit from the local populace to form a militia.
Yeah, I'm thinking of who we can train. There's only a handful of people that we could probably muster, but it's better than nothing. So
I seem to recall a number of the Ziegenheits and Hatfields being rather adept at firearms.
Well, not that adept. They only hit one person during their fight. Or two
Sure.
people, like.
Yeah, but sure, at the same time, though, they have firearms and they can bring their own.
Very true.
true. Yeah, some of them. It doesn't mean that they're good at aiming it.
They can be trained.
Exactly.
Additionally,
Yeah, I've already talked.
Sorry, go ahead.
I already talked to Mara about it.
Right. So I am going to take. I'm assuming I've got like quill. I mean, I have a writing kit, right? So quill and ink and parchment.
Totally.
And I'm gonna push the bowl of soup to the side for a moment. What I'm doing here, Genevieve, is I'm writing you a writ of responsibility, as I have been given authority to pass law into this territory, and I am making it official that you are able to recruit citizenry into this new militia, and that you have authority to both train them and oversee them beyond their normal capacity as peasants under the graph. If pressed under what authority is granted you this permission, the authority passes through me directly from the graph.
She nods and she says, what is the news of this new graph?"
How do you mean?
Well, what happened to our original one?
Passed away. Unfortunate circumstances have led to a change in leadership. As it is, you know, the graph had only one child and was not of male lineage, so things happen.
I'm trying to think of how, if Genevieve would.
How do you casually
be
bring
there.
it up in conversation?
Yeah, I'm trying to see in character, like if
So if Carla walked into you right now and you had a gun, would you shoot her?
Yes, exactly. Like
Well, I never leave my gun loaded, so that'd be impossible.
How smooth is Genevieve? I don't see her as a smooth person. So I think she's gonna ask it like this. She's like, so if let's say that his daughter just happened to turn up alive, would you care?
I would see it as my responsibility to bring the information back to the graph, yes. It's very important that the lines of lineage be... It would be a very important matter, yes.
Okay, she's so she you see her like you see her just like arm her hand on the table and she's like Alexander. So like
My name is Alexandre.
it's Alexander. She's like he's like because she's alive, I think, and Rutherford loves her. She kind of says it with like this huge enthusiasm.
I feel like I'm gonna finish writing what I've started writing before pushing it across the table towards you, leaning back in the chair and giving a sigh, and say, why do you believe this to be true?
What do you mean, what do you believe? He said he loved her, so he clearly loved her.
Okay, so he...
Yes.
So
No,
he says...
Sorry, yes, go on.
She says, she's like, I figured maybe Rutherford told you, maybe he told you that, you know, like, he's engaged to her and, you know, he loves her, so we can't just, like, if we find her again, which we might find her again, you know, we shouldn't just let her die, you know, that's so terrible.
Right. I'm sorry. Repeat for me what you said.
Rutherford loves Carla.
Yes, before that.
He's engaged to her.
And before that?
We shouldn't let her die? I don't...
Okay, so you do not know where she is, though.
Maybe?
You can take an easy scrutinized test.
Sorry, I always forget where the skills are. Is not in fellowship as I keep thinking it is. Perception.
No, yeah, it's
I don't know why I always think it's in Fellowship.
She's lying.
Genevieve, you are a dragoon of this village. With that entails certain legal matters of which you are fully responsible. You know this, right?
Yes.
Is it not your intention to fulfill the law?
Yes.
Genevieve, it seems to me that you're playing coy. I'm asking you real questions now.
I'm afraid you're gonna ask me to kill somebody I don't want to kill.
Have I ever once asked you to kill anybody? Genevieve, you know me. I have stood in the middle of a town full of angry people, begging them not to kill anybody.
Okay. Let me give you the rundown. So, by the way, I didn't know he was engaged to her before this. So, Rutherford came up to me and said he needs to hide a fair lady. So I figured, that she was in danger. So I did so. I hid her somewhere in very safe, very safe. No, nothing happened. Nothing's going on around there. She's fine, And then later I found out Rutherford she was fiance and that he loved her. And then I found out who she really was because I had no idea who she really was. And then then I found out today that there's a new graph and that he's related to her, and it's just huge. It's just huge, Alexandre. I don't know what to do.
Yes, this is very big, being the last related member of the former Graf's family that is directly in lineage to him. I think I'm already leaning back in my chair.
Plus, there's suspicions that, the Graf's own sister probably killed him.
I can assure you that is not the case. She was at her wedding the moment the reported moment of the former Graf's death. It seems very unlikely that she had a hand in it. As someone that has known her for over 20 years now, it does not seem like something she would do to harm her own brother.
Okay. I don't know. Find out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I don't want.
As they say, Genevieve, it is above your pay grade. You will not be served by asking questions. In fact, you only put you and those around you at risk asking questions.
Uh-huh. Oh, you should know that my younger brother's in town.
I'm sorry.
He will come see you, Alexandre. Oh, Genevieve's younger brother is what you mean.
Oh, I was saying, what? Who?
So.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I meant my younger brother's.
Right, well, thank you very much. That is very important information. I must ponder on what to do with it. Unfortunately, someone's life hangs in the balance, and as thus, I cannot think on what to do.
I mean, at this point, the whole town is at risk, considering we got Beastman, Jeb's going witch crazy, and I have no idea where he is. Don't ask me.
Yes, Genevieve, every life is important, which is why I cannot think on what to do in this matter. Unfortunately, the legality in me says that I should send word back to Skarnsburg about this, in hope that the goodness of people will see fit to keep her in the good graces of the family of which she is a part of. But knowing the nature of man as I do, I fear that if I do such a thing, her life will be put at risk by those who would see the current Graf's lineage continue that of Herzog Skarnsburg. So it seems to me the thing to do now might just be nothing.
I suppose.
I mean, so long as knowledge of her existence here is unknown, it seems more likely that she's not a risk to herself or others. Do you agree?
Yes.
If you have another opinion on this, I would hear it now before it becomes a problem later.
I mean, like I said, I helped Rutherford so that she'd be safe. I didn't do that. Throw her to the wolves, you know.
Very well. Here's this writ that I have written for you. I would request that if you recruit any Hutsfields, you recruit an even number of... Sorry, my brain just blanked.
Ziegenheld?
Yeah, Ziegenholz. Something my brain. I was thinking Hutsfields and McCoys. Hutsfields and Ziegenholz. So that there should not be any imbalance in the numbers of our militia, and in this way we can keep some form of regulation between the two, despite the manner in which the two houses may now be unevenly balanced. This is a small village, after all. We do not want it to fall into unrest ever again. Is that clear?
Very clear.
Alright, make sure you pass it along to your commander as well.
I will. Have you been told of any of the other stuff that's been going around?
Rutherford did inform me of a few things. If you wish to inform me of anything you can think of, I can corroborate any information he may have said.
Brutus is somehow in command of the Beacon.
We saw this, you remember? I fought him directly.
And then, he wants my mother for... and my mother's missing.
It's weird when I hear you call your mother the mother. I did not know Selma well, but I have seen her on acquaintance. Well, beyond the time that I rescued her from that monster in the woods.
What monster woods?
That is not a story for a young lady's ears. I shall spare you this indignity.
Oh no. She's just gonna nod and assume things. And she says, oh, and right. For some reason, I don't know why Brutus is looking for my mother, but he is. Oh, Alexandra, do you know if there's like any old records in the Bohin Castle?
Once again, my name is Alexandre.
Alexandre? is in the castle? Any records are in the castle that could be useful?
None that I'm aware of.
Is there...
I don't think you've ever been there, right?
I think you want to analyze what I've just said, Mantra.
Yeah.
What did I just say?
Not that you're aware of. Yes.
There you go. Not a word of that was a lie.
Suffer time corruption.
I already have.
Yeah.
Also, you should know this, just in case Elja comes at you for it. I decided to ignore Elja's smuggling schemes of alcohol during this crisis because I really don't want to deal with it.
Once again, information I was already aware of, Genevieve. There's a lot that goes on in this town that I let go on so that the town remained, let's just say, not as it was when I left. People coming around and deciding to ruffle the feathers of everybody is what caused that. So I think we let sleeping dogs lie.
Right, I'm just telling you so that you can't say later on that I didn't tell you.
I was well aware of her operation, and I was well aware that you had let it go on. I said not a word to either of you about either thing. Just trust that I have the best interests of everybody at heart.
Alright. I think That's all I can think of. Oh, and we suspect Algier be somehow involved with this, or have no more knowledge than he may have let on, because I think Ras saw him around or helped him during the beast fight attack. Acting suspicious.
Unrelated
Other than
note. Unrelated note, I just did remember one more thing. Take down the green light.
Right, I will do that.
Henceforth, the Green Man is a criminal that should be dealt with on sight, not a figure to be spoken of in jolly tones of folklore and legend.
We'll do that. And she slowly steps back and tries to exit the room.
And get me pictures of Spider-Man!
I actually think at this point, though, the door bursts open and your brother. I always have to look up his name because I've put him up in my head as like the douchebag, so I always forget his name.
He's the douchebag. He has
Douche
no
bro.
name. He's douche bro.
Louvaball, or Louvabild,
Who build?
bursts in and he goes, "Elf, I have disturbing news I have to share."
You know, I would think a member of such an esteemed and noble family would know how to knock before entry.
Knocking is only when you are dealing with your equals or betters, Elf. And he strides in.
So you would deny the Graf's own chosen as being beneath you?
You're still a peasant, aren't you? Also, I should mention that neither of them are actual nobility.
Right, that doesn't matter to my argument, though. What
I
I am saying is that if you disregard me, then you dismiss the Graf, and doing either is below your station.
Oh, yeah. But I know Genevieve had said something about like him being a lord. He's not neither of you are nobility. Fluff. You're just you're bourgeois. You're just middle class.
Yeah.
Right,
Criminal.
I know what my association is with their father, so I know how to deal with them. I'm just saying. What I'm telling him is that when you disrespect me, you directly disrespect the Graf, who is landed noble.
He says, "Well, I don't see him here at the moment. All I can see is our ruined manor, our midshipmen of mead, and alcohol being sold that is not our mead."
Do you? I don't. I see racist epitomes of a elven room in my soup getting cold. Much in the way that you do not see the Graf before you.
I'm going to tell my father about this.
I assure you, any messenger that you send, I can get there twice as fast. And via the word of the Graf, and not some impudent child. So perhaps you address me with some respect, and I will help you in the way that I deem fit.
He visibly humphs and says, "Genevieve, I'm taking your horse." And he walks out.
Oh, she's gonna be right. She's gonna go right after him. She's like, "You don't touch King. Get away from me."
Also, that's theft of property.
Oh yeah, totally. But this is like
a hanging offense.
He doesn't get the horse. We'll shorten that like very quickly. But you chase him and sibling eyes him, I guess, and he goes running off to get a boat to get Horseface to take him to where he needs to go. So he is on his way out of town.
That's fine. I know for a fact that Senior Basque, I can't remember his first name, has really no care about this town anymore.
Right. Yeah. His name is Gracious Basque. But yes.
Gracious. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So that leaves that. What are your guys' next moves, and where are we going from here?
Seems to me Rasmussen has a masterstroke to accomplish.
You keep saying that, but it's not true.
All the pieces are on the board, man. Somebody may have tilted it, but they're still on play.
They are. They are. Rest assured, when the time comes, you'll know it.
The man you gotta fear is the man who's the least physically intimidating. Because he has to be playing the hardest game of all.
That's right.
I am nothing more than the humble and loyal servant of Lord Rutherford. Nothing.
Well, he's not a lord yet, so.
I've
Again, I know.
always been a lord.
Yeah, just before you were a father.
Lord, Father.
Father Lord.
Father, Lord.
There's a lot of stuff that happened this session. It was pretty.
So
But yeah, again, the fact that I know that Rutherford is a liar and not who he says he is, and that you always claim to be with him. I guess at some point you and me have to have a conversation.
I will be as accommodating as I possibly can.
Right, I'm not saying that's now. There's no reasonable reason why we should have a conversation with you.
I couldn't agree more. We gotta
Rasmussen.
find that chick. That's the next.
I gotta find that chick.
The moment I think you're gonna be your most eloquent. We gotta find that chick! Where is that bitch?
No. I wouldn't call her that. But
Yeah, of course not,
we
because
need
your
to find
master
her.
is
Compare it.
said he's in love with her, and a great surprise to you, who suggested that you kill her, I think. I don't know what your ploy is now.
I did no such thing. That's lies and salacious accusations.
Well, it's out of character, too, because I don't know it in character. Again, I am torn in character about what to do with her, because if I report it back to the capital, she is most assuredly dead. But if I don't, I'm foregoing legal matters and risking my own life on her behalf.
See, you guys might not know what to do, but I know several things to do.
Oh god.
Well, of course you do. You have your own authority on the line. Now that
And-
actual...
Only more than two.
Well, I mean,
things.
now that actual lordship is on the way for you, you actually have to consider your plots being in motion. You have a timetable to worry about now.
No, I'm pretty sure I could. I got an ace up my sleeve.
Yeah, it's a girl you're hiding. Oh, I wonder about all these people in Skarnsburg that hate you. That now know you're here.
That hate her and know that I'm here. What?
Both, I guess. Not that
They hate you. Yeah.
they hate you and know that you're here now.
Why do they hate me?
I wonder.
What did you do?
I didn't do
What
anything.
did you do?
With Rutherford, why are we in Bogenhofen? Because you lied to everybody in Skarnsburg already.
You know,
And now your name is being notarized, and people are being sent here from Skarnsburg, specifically on your name. Because your lying name is the same as your real name, apparently.
sometimes you just gotta lie.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't.
No. You can get everything. Just lie.
Sure, all you gotta do is
Trick
remember
is
every
to just
lie.
never tell the truth, because then no one knows what's happening.
Okay, but how about the witch hunter that knew you as Rutherford as well?
Not the
he's
witch
dead.
Rasmussen. He didn't
Yeah.
know Rutherford.
Oh,
he knew
okay.
Rasmussen.
Yeah, but Rasmussen's always hanging around with Rutherford. It's it's not a very thin connection between these two. And who knows how long Rasmussen's been playing the I'm with Mord Rutherford card.
It's been so long I forgot to.
So yeah, who knows what the hell's coming up behind the notary.
Maybe an army is about to invade. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I would know. I have been gone for quite a while. I guess.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. So, what is our next move? What are we gonna go to do next?
Well, I
Probably
need to
because we're
speak
coming up
with
to the
some
end
people.
of the session. Yeah.
Elja, for one.
I think that's a good idea, and we can definitely do that. Before we kind of decide, but Rasmussen, Rutherford, you see Genevieve, like basically, she siblingizes her brother. I'm not sure how that looks like. It's probably pretty brutal though. And returns to the two of you sitting at the table alone. Um, do you tell them anything about what you said to Alexandre?
All she says is, she